right, that took longer than expected, unfortunately, and for whatever void I may be talking into at this point, we have had quite a bit of a problem with getting online, a lot of issues with Facebook Live on here. But as of just before 10:30, this is taking a lot longer than I anticipated to get this thing fired up. This is the abbreviated version of News 12's Weather Overtime video blog for Thursday, February 5th, 2026. We were supposed to be on at 9:45. We again are having some issues with stream key function and a lot of GPU problems and etc. If our engineering staff is watching, Mr. Keaton, I will leave a file for you on email just to make sure that everything is tweaked and ready to go, just to be on the safe side there. Heading toward the end of the week, things are decently calm and quiet for now. There were a few snow flurries earlier. There could be some black ice overnight. That, again, could be just a bit of a problem. We'll take a look at all that coming up here in just a little while, so stay tuned again for more details on all of that. Let's take a look and see what's going on with the Almanac page for today. We did manage to make our way just above 40 degrees, so that was it for the temperatures for today, and that was about, again, as mild as we were going to get out there with this colder air in place. No rainfall or snow or anything else today, so we are still behind for the month of February. Already it's been a dry month, and as of right now, we are also looking again at nearly 2 inches behind normal for the entire year. So 2026 has really wound up being a dry start. So far, a dry start to the year. Hopefully it won't stay that way. We do have some more rainfall coming our direction as we get into the course of the next couple of days. Thanks to News 12 viewer Holly Joe from Athens for a view of the backyard pool. Seeing again the geometric designs in the pool there with the ice and the water freezing with a few bubbles underneath the surface. That's from the Athens area, and again, thanks to Holly Joe for a beautiful view of the backyard pool as the temperatures cooled off the last time around. If you've got pictures, we'd love to see what you're seeing out there, so please go ahead and send them in to us at pictures@wdef.com. That's our email address for this. You can also drop them to the social media pages. You can also, again, go to our Weather Window headquarters at wdef.com/photos, and yours could be the next HEP Heating Weather Window picture of the day. So thanks a lot to everybody who has sent in some great pictures out there over the course of the last several days, weeks, and months, and you can see them again by going to our website again for more details. Quiet downtown around Aquarium Way, thanks to the Tennessee Aquarium for their view along Aquarium Way. Not too many folks out and about. It is decently chilly out there for this evening. Downtown, top of the EPB building, we've got a little bit of a breeze, and you can see some of the other flags out there in the distance catching that breeze. We still have, again, a decent amount of cloudy skies out there, and probably will throughout the course of the next day or two. From the News 12 studio camera, looking back toward the top of Lookout Mountain. Again, we're coming to you live from Chattanooga tonight. If you're just tuning in, our website, again, at the bottom of the screen, wdef.com/weather. Broad Street, and again, Lookout Mountain, you can just see Ruby Falls over on the north flank of Lookout Mountain for tonight. Quiet into and around much of the area. We did have some snow flurries coming on through. We'll take a look at radar in just a little bit. Chattanooga Zoo, Camp Cam, Holtzclaw Avenue, I-24 traffic moving along. Some pretty good backups over toward the construction area near Brainerd Road if you are traveling that direction for later on tonight. Again, the quiet conditions into tonight. Temperatures are just above freezing. Winds have dropped at least a little bit, so we don't have much of a breeze taking place, and therefore not much of a wind chill for right now, but we will be looking for some fairly cool conditions overnight. Radar, again, showing some snow flurries being detected over northern parts of Georgia, but much of what we're seeing for right now has already fallen and gone through the area. Hiawassee, Georgia, picking up a trace of snowfall there. Trace of snow at Fort Mountain State Park in Fort Mountain State Park, Georgia. Back over toward Lumpkin, Georgia. Trace of snow around the border of Dawson, Forsyth, and Hall counties. A little closer to Atlanta, Canton, Georgia. Trace of snow reported there, and even some snow traces reported around Smyrna and Vinings, Georgia on the radar. But as of right now, again, we have nothing taking place in the way of anything involving huge amounts of any snowfall. There may be the problem again of some black ice out there into tomorrow. We'll be watching that with a lot of interest into the early morning hours. So please, again, keep it tuned to News 12. Russell Stroud will have your forecast coming up early in the morning to give you an idea as to what's going on there. Right now, our latest storm system, the way things are setting up is that we have our latest system moving off into the Atlantic, and we are back to around the southeast United States. Some moisture, clouds, a little bit of snowfall taking place there, but again, not that much happening for now. Our next storm system is all the way up around the United States-Canadian border, around the Great Lakes, and that is going to be dropping our direction as we get into and around tomorrow afternoon. That is going to be bringing with it a decent amount of some chilly conditions across the area into the weekend, but we should be pretty mild into tomorrow. It will be a frosty night tonight. Lows in northeast Alabama should be in the mid to high 20s. North central Georgia, a little colder, back in the mid to lower 20s, mid to high 20s across northwest Georgia. Back into North Carolina, temperatures will be in the teens and 20s, lower 20s at that, so that'll be the coldest in those higher elevations, and back into the mid-20s, some lower 20s around the I-75, I-40 area. Again, that is where we could see the chilliest conditions out there, and that is where we may run into some more problems again into overnight. National Weather Service has again been issuing special weather statements to keep everybody updated in regards to the potential for what may be, again, some slick conditions into tomorrow. Special weather statement is just that. It's a statement that the National Weather Service issues to give people an idea as to, again, what may be happening. It's not a watch. It's not a warning. It's not an advisory. It's not anything for, again, anything immediate. But overnight, southeast Monroe County, Tennessee, right up along the North Carolina line, that is where we may see the potential of black ice tonight, and then back up a little farther into portions of east and northeast Tennessee, Knoxville, Farragut, Oak Ridge, Morristown, up toward around Johnson City and Bristol. You may see some very windy conditions coming up as we go into the course of the next couple of days. So if you are going to be traveling and driving anything like a high-profile vehicle, that is where we may see the potential of some very breezy winds coming up. Again, we were talking about 40 miles per hour plus, especially right up against the spine of the Appalachians. That is going to be the worst of the worst. So we could see some pretty choppy conditions up there, but we're not looking at anything in the way of huge amounts of snow coming our way anytime soon, so good news for that. Snow tonight outside of a few flurries. There's really just not that much going on again for right now. We could be looking again at some more rain as we go into next week. Going to have to kind of curtail this for tonight again because of internet problems, but we'll give you an update here real quick about what's going on again with the next several days. The conditions out around the area of Island Cove, Tennessee 58 Highway, Hunter Road interchange. Rick Nyman in our sports department noticed this a couple of days ago, wondering why it was so bright at this time of the night. Well, you can thank the cloud cover. The thickness and the elevation of that can help to reflect the lights of Hamilton County and Chattanooga around the area, and that helps to illuminate everything around. So it looks kind of like night vision in a way, but all that is just sky shine, light pollution being reflected back down to the ground so that we can see a little bit more out there. All right, so for the next couple of days, again, tomorrow, highs pushing 60 degrees. Heading into Saturday, that's the big dip on the temperatures coming up with numbers back in the lower 40s. Rising up a very mild number of days ahead of us going through the weekend and into next week. We will also see again the potential of some showers out there. It doesn't look like much for now. A few days ago, this was looking like a much more potent winter weather storm. Mainly for the Rockies, mainly for the Plain States. For us, again, it was a little bit too early to tell, but for right now, it looks like rain chances beginning late Tuesday, continuing through Wednesday, catching a bit of a break into late Wednesday, early Thursday, and then another chance of rain coming up, cooling off a little bit, but still way above normal, so not much of a problem being seen on the temperatures. It's kind of nice to get out of the deep freeze for a little bit. Temperatures will moderate, and we're not going to be looking at anything coming our way in the way of a big cool down anytime soon. So that, again, some very good news overall. If you have outdoor plans, again, Saturday could be quite chilly and a little bit windy out there as that system plows on through the area. And then we look again for more potential rainfall. But right now, no severe weather and nothing showing up in the way of winter weather. Remember, we are still very much in the winter weather season, so now is a very good time to get ready for severe weather. Excuse me, had this semi-cold cough thing going on for the last couple of weeks. Everybody here at News 12 has had some form of the bug. Excuse me, I beg your pardon on that. For the last couple of weeks, and you just get tired of being worn down by these things at this time of the year. National Weather Service in Nashville is going to be holding online Skywarn Storm Spotter classes. Now, there's in-person ones coming up, but because of budget cuts and personnel cuts, it's not possible to get out to all the locations. The National Weather Service offices used to do a dozen or so training sessions in the last about 30 years. That's not happening, again, due to those budget cuts from Washington. So we've got online virtual Skywarn training to where you can show up, take the course, you can pass the quiz online, become a Skywarn spotter, register with your particular local National Weather Service office. This is also, it's kind of the same thing that the National Weather Service Morristown has. If you would like to take the course, it's very easy. You just show up at the date and times listed starting next Monday at 6:30 p.m. Central. If you'd like to take the course, it's very easy. All you have to do, it's totally free. Your tax dollars, my tax dollars help pay for this. But again, if you'd like to show up, weather.gov/OHX, that's the three-letter identifier for the National Weather Service in Nashville. Going farther there, /Skywarn will take you directly to that page. Numerous dates coming up through the rest of February into early March. And again, January through about early April, that is our prime time for severe weather. That is, again, the best potential for getting, again, the possibility of severe weather. And maybe you've never been through severe weather before. If you haven't, if you just moved here and don't know what to expect, these are going to be one of the best opportunities to find out more about what severe weather is and how to be safe in regards to it. That, again, is going to be one of the best ways to get trained for this. I've seen kids as young as, say, 6 or 7 becoming Skywarn spotters. This really does give kids a better bit of control over what seems to be an uncontrollable situation. So if you've got kids, grandkids, definitely want to think about seeing if they would like to take this course too. You do not have to be part of law enforcement. You don't have to have a PhD. You don't have to be an amateur radio operator. I am, and again, it's a great opportunity to know more. But this course will teach you severe weather safety, and it will give you opportunity to call directly back to the National Weather Service using either your cell phone, or if you're an amateur radio operator and your particular National Weather Service covering your location has an amateur radio rig on standby, you can dial them up that way to report your information, and in that way we can all stay just a little bit safer. So again, please consider becoming a Skywarn spotter. The more people we have trained, the better off, the more safe we will all be. So again, please consider becoming a Skywarn spotter. It would really, really, really help everybody out there, especially folks like me who will, again, need your information coming on through to get everybody else safer out there. Again, let's make certain we are all on the safe side for right now. Think that should do it. We've got to go ahead and sign off here for tonight, but before we do, the school day forecast will be back in the high 20s, starting things off tomorrow, and then we'll be back again into and around the area of, pardon me on YouTube, I didn't realize my camera was quite so wonky there. All right, temperatures again quite mild into tomorrow, but it will be breezy as the kids and the teachers head home. So that jacket with temperatures like that, whipping around with those winds, may not be such a bad idea. So definitely want to keep that as handy as possible out across the area. And again, for anything else going on across the region, it is going to be breezy and fairly dry. Round to Gulf, it'll be a lot better in the afternoon than it will be in the morning. So again, please consider that jacket to make certain that you are bundled up. It will come in, again, pretty handy into the rest of the forecast for tomorrow. Rest of the weekend, again, looks dry, if not a bit on the chilly side. We'll be watching this carefully. One more thing before I go. I want to make certain everybody's aware of this. It may not be your garbage, but it is our planet and our parks. If you would like to participate, and many hands makes light work to clean up where things should not be and get them to where they can be in their respective places. So a great opportunity to learn more about serving your community and being a good neighbor is to help with a neighborhood cleanup. Coming up this weekend on 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, from Green Steps Chattanooga at greenstepschat.com/events. 2 cleanups coming up this weekend. First one on Saturday the 7th, East Lake Litter Cleanup at East Lake Park. That's going to be at 3000 East 34th Street from noon to 3 p.m. Because of weather coming through, the cleanup that was meant to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had to be moved back, and this is the cleanup for the Red Bank City Park, 3817 Reading Road. If you would like to know more about either of these, or to RSVP to get out there and to help clean up the safety rules and everything else, all you have to do is go to their website. Again, that's greenstepschat.com/events. A good opportunity, again, to help your community out. Would be nice to see a little bit more neighborhood spirit out there helping on things. And again, I was taught a long time ago from my parents and from being in Boy Scouts that you leave a place looking better than when you found it in the first place. So again, if you want to get out there, get your, again, gloves dirty to get some of that trash picked up and make it a better spot, no better way than to help your community out by doing a volunteer good deed like this. So again, please consider volunteering for this. Again, greenstepschat.com/events if you'd like to know anything more about that. That should do it. Unfortunately, the time frame that we got here is a little bit on the limited side because of the fact that we had so many difficulties taking place with our sign-on on Facebook and Twitch and everything else. Thanks to everybody who stopped by. I do appreciate it. Again, we'll be doing these weather overtimes as often as we can in the course of the next several days. If you want to see something more on here, let me know. If you would like to see less on here, let me know. The information, again, at the bottom of the screen, aonek@wdef.com. Email me, again, if you have compliments, questions, anything like that, complaints, if you absolutely must. Give us a shout. Again, we can't do this without you, the viewers, so again, give us an idea as to what you're looking for and how we can make this more enjoyable weather blog for you to check out. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek. Russell Stroud will be in for the vacationing Chip Chapman, 5 a.m. Friday morning with the morning show news, weather, sports, and everything else going on. So stay tuned for that. Have a good rest of your Thursday, early Friday, depending on when you're viewing this. And we'll have more for you on News 12 on air and online. Thanks for joining us for Thursday evening's Weather Overtime.